coming to you from Toronto, Canada on this Friday. And I was just told by the fine folks that work at our Siriusxm studio here in Toronto that I am the first American-based show to come here and do a show from here. I'm the first one to export from here, from the U.S. There we go. Hey. And it's all thanks to Triumph, which we're going to get to here in a second. So it's cool to be here. I was here last about 7 years ago. I came up and I did a special with all three members of Triumph at that time, but it wasn't, we used an outside studio, I remember. It was a house somewhere. And then the next day I did a show from the actual SiriusXM studio, and that was with one of my producer spotlights with Bob Ezrin, and we spent 2 hours with Bob, which was great. So that was the last time I was here, and it is at least 7, 8 years ago. Got into Toronto with no problem last night and got to the hotel, and here I am from a really nice facility. We got a great facility here. I've already got some ideas on more maybe Toronto stuff we can do because it's a great studio here and really good people. And now that I've gotten a feel for it, who knows what happens down the line. But I'm here today because we are celebrating Triumph, one of my favorite bands and certainly one of my favorite Canadian bands. And here in studio with me, I'm looking right across at his beautiful face, Triumph's bass player, Mike Levine. Good to see you, Mike.
Eddie, always a pleasure to look at your lovely face, too.
The NHL couldn't pull you away. You're the one guy loyal to the radio show.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, it was hard for me not to go, but you were part of the reason, but there was another part.
I was going to say, there's got to be another part, because we'll get to all this in a second, but I also want to introduce the other guest here in studio, and a guy that I've been after for years to get on this show, and a legend in the world of music production, Mike Clink. Good to see you, Mike.
Great to be here, Eddie. I love Toronto, and thanks for having me up here.
Yeah, I could have, all the times I've been in L.A., you live in L.A., it could have been so easy, but we both came to Toronto for us to do this.
That's right.
Although I'm not doing what I want to do with you one of these days. We'll get to that another time, but you're here.
It's going to happen.
Because this album is super important to you, I know, and you put a lot into it, which we're going to get to. But I get, so as I've been telling the audience in the last day or two, this whole thing that we're doing today has evolved and changed because a couple days ago, the NHL came calling for Triumph to perform at the Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers Game 2 Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton that's happening in a few hours. And because of that, Rick and Gil are there, and they are going to perform 3 songs. Mike, you are here. The biggest question, why are you not performing? Why did you not do it?
Well, you're the biggest reason.
Oh, right. Thank you, Mike.
I couldn't bring myself to stiff you.
I appreciate it. Well, me and Clink would have just chopped it up better.
I could have done your Clink show.
Or Clink could have went and done the sound, and then I really would have just been sitting here by myself.
Exactly.
No, but seriously, in the land of where medicine is free, it takes long times to get specialist appointments. And I've been waiting for 4 months to see this guy. And my appointment was booked for the 6th at 11 a.m. this morning.
Oh, so you had a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
I got you. All right. Yeah, well, that's important, too.
And I couldn't get out of it. It's one of those that I had to go to.
So we're going to bring Rick in for a few minutes from Edmonton on the phone. Then he's going to pass off to Gil. We're going to talk to him for a few minutes on the phone. So we're going to include them.
I think Gil's first.
Okay, whatever order. We're going to hear from Rick and Gil live today, because and look, I totally understand something like the finals. I mean, the Stanley Cup Finals. I mean, that's a huge opportunity. You got to go do something like that. Hockey's like religion here in Canada, so it's a great opportunity for them to play and showcase the record, or maybe hopefully promote the record a little bit. But what are they going to do there? Do you know exactly? Mike?
The set, I believe, is going to be Allied Forces.
Okay.
Then Lay It on the Line in the middle, and Magic Power to close.
And then there's a band called the Glorious Sons that is playing after them, I understand.
Yes.
Who I guess are big here in Canada. I don't really know them all that well in the U.S. But
yeah, they've done very well up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what were your thoughts, Mike, when the opportunity for, even though you're not taking part in this, for those guys to go play and do this? Because there's been a lot of cries for Triumph to play again in the last 17 years. What were your thoughts about them going to do it when that opportunity came?
Well, it's funny because we just found out about it a week ago.
Right.
Right. So we haven't played. We have no crew. Nothing is there for the band we're starting from scratch. It's kind of like the old days, just Hondo stuff together and make sure it works. So it really got to go full tilt on Tuesday of this week. There were no flights until Tuesday. No flights booked to Edmonton. Today's Friday. So anyway, they all made it. We hired a few of our friends who to come along as first support, and Phil X, who was in Triumph,
right,
is going to be there. And Todd Kurtz, great bass player, great singer, is taking my place. I got a text this morning from Rick and Gil saying I'm fired.
Kearns is too nice of a guy to boot you. You know who would be most upset about that? Would be Kearns himself, knowing Todd as well as I do, and Fitz for that matter, and Phil. So Todd is subbing for you. And my understanding is so Triumph has gone from a trio to, at least for these 3 songs, a 5-piece.
Yeah, almost a 6-piece. Almost, if I would have gone.
A 6-piece if you would have gone. And what does Gil do? Is Gil's playing, so there's going to be 2 drummers.
Yeah.
So you're turning into the Grateful Dead or something. Why?
The Doobie Brothers.
Because you got Fitz playing and Gil playing side by side.
Yeah, they'll sort it out. Who does what,
Okay.
You can't have 2 drummers do fills.
Right.
One guy has to do all the fills.
Or maybe Gil just comes out front and sings during his vocal stuff.
I don't know what they're doing. I think
You're here.
They're not sharing any information with me other than there was a shot that I think Gil took, or no, somebody took a picture of the 5 of them, and they look like they're having a party.
Yeah,
everybody's happy.
All right, well, good for them. We'll get firsthand reporting from Edmonton, from Gil and Rick calling in to let us know what exactly is going down and what will be the first performance of 2/3 of Triumph in 17 years. The last time you guys played live in any capacity, I actually hosted the show back in 08, Rocklahoma.
Rocklahoma.
Yeah, and that was that's where the button was put on as far as live performance.